So the conversation is being kicked around lately about whether or not there will be a 2020 NFL season. Obviously, there's a big kind of pandemic going on right now. I don't want to say the words because YouTube does not like you saying those words. But, you know, as we all know, there's weird stuff going on in the world today, and many sports have been canceled. You know what I mean? From the NHL season, NBA season, at least postponed. MLB season was supposed to start several weeks ago. It's not here yet. March Madness, the Masters. Luckily, we still have the NFL draft next week, but the NFL is sports are being canceled like crazy, and we're being forced to stay inside. Public events are not going on, but you know, the big question is, when will this end? Nobody knows when it will end. Unfortunately, it's by far one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. But you know, everybody gets forced to stay inside, and you know, how will this affect the NFL season? Me personally, I still think that we will have an NFL season. The reason I think that is because one big advantage that the NFL has that the NBA did not have, the NHL did not have, the MLB did not really have, is months of preparation time. There is a lot of preparation time going into this whole this whole situation going into the NFL season. Obviously, training camp starts in late July. Then in August you have training camp and preseason, and then in September, the second Sunday of September is generally when the NFL season starts. So that's obviously ample time to really prepare for what is going to go on. You know, I think if the NFL season goes on, I think there very well will be the situation where there are not fans allowed to come to the games. You know, I think that before training camp starts, before players are allowed into the facilities, that they will, you know, be tested for the disease. And if they do, you know, pass the disease, I could very well see where they will make players hunker down inside of the facilities. I mean, generally when training camp goes on, players stay at hotels, players stay away from their families, and, you know, usually they're in like hotels or something like that. There may be a situation where maybe inside, obviously at TIAA Bank Field, the Jaguars, they hold training camp at their facilities, you know, at their own place. But there are teams that, you know, travel out to other locations outside of their stadium, you know, kind of like the Carolina Panthers, where their practices aren't really at the stadium. You know what I mean? So they might be at a little bit more of a disadvantage, but maybe they, you know, kind of create some living spaces there. You know, maybe the Jaguars will have on-site places where, you know, right at the stadium where you sleep there almost. I could very well see that happening. And, you know, they perform tests just to make sure that they don't have it, because they're going to lose out on billions of dollars with this. And not having people come to the stadiums, you know, like attendance, like really where the NFL makes most of its money, it's TV. TV is where they make its advertisement money. They get the big deals from CBS, Fox for them to be able to present the games. And you know, the actual games, it's kind of a smaller percentage of the overall revenue for the NFL. So I think that there will be an NFL season. There's a lot of preparation time to go into it. They have a lot more time to brainstorm, as opposed to like the NBA, where all of a sudden it came up. The NHL, where all of a sudden this came up and they couldn't do anything about it. I would be absolutely devastated if September, October here and I don't have, you know, NFL football or college football. I think there's more of a risk of college football being canceled, just because it's, you know, it's less. They're students. The players aren't making money off it, as opposed to the NFL, where players make millions of dollars off the game. So, you know, I very well hope that there's an NFL season. I couldn't imagine not having it, but I just kind of wanted to bring in my 2 cents on the situation. Let me know what you guys think. Will there be an NFL season? The NFL draft is still going on. You know, when it comes to OTAs and stuff, they're having like virtual. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how that goes on, but they're doing virtual stuff when it comes to that. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Go Jags.